So, welcome you all. This talk show is about sales for the sales professionals, business owners, and women in sales, where we bring international CEOs, sales coaches, sales leaders, and authors. Here we talk about their sales journey, challenges, selling skills, and strategy for success. The purpose of this show is to inspire, transform, and to become successful sales professional as well as a business owner. So today our guest is Daphne Thompson, and she's a founder of Catch the Beat. That's mainly business development and helping a women entrepreneurs. And she's also a LinkedIn trainer and she's consultant, digital marketing expert. So welcome, Daphne. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Talika. Thank you for having me on the show.
yeah. So can you tell about yourself to the audience?
Yeah, of course. So I started my entrepreneurial journey about 7 years ago when I was the business development specialist or business development manager at a digital marketing firm. And I got fired. And I went to 50 interviews and I could not get one job or one role. And then I decided, screw this. I have knowledge. I can do this. Let me just do it for myself instead of for someone else. So I started Catch the Beat, and it was a digital marketing agency. I had my laptop and the knowledge that I have, and I just started. So from then onwards, it grew to a phenomenal six-figure business, which was great. A team of between 12 and 15, depending on the project that we're working on. It was amazing. And then straight after that, we moved to Japan, and there was 2 weeks before the borders closed. And within 30 days that all the borders closed, I lost each and every client that I had, every single one. So that was very much like fetal position in the bathroom, not really knowing what to do, what's happening. And then out of that birthed so much potential and so much actual amazingness, because all of a sudden the world opened up. It wasn't just local anymore, it became a global platform. And out of Japan, birth Catch the Beat 2.0, the better version, the bigger version, where we only serve international clients. We grown exponentially since the time that basically COVID hit, and now where we have a team literally in Portugal and South Africa and China and everywhere in the world. We're serving international clients. And the best part of all of this, it also birthed superwoman entrepreneurs, where we are a global community of entrepreneurial women that have lived it, that talks what they walk, and they are a community to help other entrepreneurs right now, other female entrepreneurs specifically, to build a all encompassing, I always get that damn word wrong. um, the,
Emphasis.
an all-rounded community uh, to build your business and your entrepreneurship. I was just talking to Taliga straight before the show started about how it really takes a village to be successful. You do need people around you. You do need a successful mentor. You do need someone that has been there before, that knows what it is. You don't live long enough to make all the mistakes yourself, and it's kind of a waste of time, right? So learn from the people that have been there. Get around the right people. So Superwomen Entrepreneurs is a community of entrepreneurial female women that all run more than six-figure businesses. They are there to help. So please do have a look. Google us, Superwomen Entrepreneurs. We'd love to invite you to our community. And it's phenomenal. And that's Taliga is one of these absolutely phenomenal women that is outstanding and trying to make a difference for other female entrepreneurs to really make an impact into the business world. Did I just ramble on? I'm so sorry.
No, 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 it's perfect. So what do you think if a woman wants to be a super woman entrepreneur, what is the key thing is so important?
Relationship, without a doubt.
Mhm.
It really is relationship. It's who you connected to, who are the people around you. So even if you want to be a, a phenomenal salesperson, sales start out of relationships. If you don't have a relationship formed with someone, it's very, very difficult to actually just make a sale. I always try and explain this way. So even if you are online, right? there's a specific journey that needs to follow. So think about a normal human relationship. First time when you see someone, it's usually like eye to body, eye to eye. Then it's hand to hand, hand to shoulder, hand to back. And that's kind of how a relationship is formed. Even in a friendship, right? That's how relationships are formed. And in business, what happens a lot of times is they skip the relationship part and they go straight into like slam bam, thank you, ma'am. But there's no connection. And you miss out on the lifetime value of that person. That's why we want relationship. So if you go online, the first thing is when you start people to view you like the eye to eye or eye to body part is you literally see them on Facebook, Instagram, Google, LinkedIn. What is the content that you put out? And again, in a normal human relationship, when intimacy grows or when the relationship grows, you start talking, right? So how do you talk online? You talk online via commenting, sharing, reading the blog, forwarding the blog. What is it? It's that communication. And that's where relationships are built. Following up with an inbox message, following up with another touch point. We need to have that follow up to build authentic relationships. And yes, there are ways that you can automate it to make it more volume based, but the key aspect is still what is the message that needs to go out. After they've now engaged with you, now you need to, otherwise you stay in friend zone. No one wants to stay in friend zone. What do you do to get the relationship to the part where you can actually sell them? Well, you need to get their contact details, right? So what's the exchange of value to get the email address, their number, in a normal human relationship? That would be, hey, can I have your number? Let's go have coffee again. Or let's go watch a movie. Let's go watch a game. Let's just talk. But you need that exchange in order for someone to be excited about your relationship because you want a conversion, right? So online, when you've now been aware of someone, when they've engaged with you, when you've got a, we call it like subscription, the value exchange of getting their contact details. Sometimes that is give me your email address on e-commerce stores and you get 15% off your first purchase. That's a value exchange. Give me your email address and I give you my ebook. Value exchange. What is that? Because that's a subscription stage. When they've done the action that you wanted them to do, that's a conversion. A normal human relationship, hey, do you want to go for coffee? Yeah, sure. Meet up the next day and have coffee. That is a conversion. They did the action that you wanted them to do. Now, go on from there, as they need to be excited about this. If you want a relationship to go on, that person after the coffee needs to go, that was really nice. Yes, I want to see that person again. Or, yes, that game was so much fun. But you need to have a positive emotive connection to after this. When they've read your ebook, wow, I want to know more. When they purchased your product and they had 15% off, that was really nice and it was delivered on time. Those
Mm.
type of things are the value exchange for them to get excited. Because the minute you get someone to be excited about the relationship that you're forming, not the product that you're selling, not the coffee that you drank, the relationship that you're building, then you can actually give them your core offering. So in a relationship, normal human relationship, a core offering would be, hey, we're best friends now. It has built over time. Hey,
Mm.
let's get engaged now. I think this, I want to take my relationship to the next level. Whatever the next level is of your relationship. Hey, I want to introduce you to my family. I want to introduce you to my group of friends. That next level, that's basically your core offering. So in a e-commerce store, is it a subscription based? Is it a high ticket item? In services, is it retainers? Is it ongoing? What is your core offering? Because every time you give a core offering, there's only four ways that anyone can make business or make money in any form of way. And that's either you need more leads, you need more customers, you need to increase the frequency that your customers are purchasing from you, or you need to increase the profit that you make per person that purchases from you. If you can only increase one of those, you've already had a 4x basically of what you could potentially earn. If you could do increase all of them or just double them, that's already a 16 times interest increase of what you're currently earning. So now just to recap, in a normal relationship, what is it needed? Is relationship, right? From awareness to engagement to subscription to conversion to excitement to your core offering. And now afterwards, you need to still make sales, right? So now we want them to be your advocates. That is the time in a normal relationship when someone posted on Facebook and saying, hey, we had this game together. Oh, let's clink our glasses and take a picture of the wine that we're drinking. Because that's promotion, right? We want our customers or our clients to post on our behalf. That's the best sales technique there is. Because then they become your promoters, they become your sales agents. And that's kind of the relationship that you want to build with someone in order to truly, truly make that sale and that lifelong value increase that you want from a customer. Never have the first instant gratification as your end goal. You need to have the lifelong value mindset because that's how you make a lot more money than instant gratification. Does that make
Wow. Yeah. So I think very first time I we have talked about a relationship so much. So much is there to talk on relationship, I believe.
Oh no, definitely. I mean, just think about it. How you and me met. You saw something that you heard a podcast where I was speaking somewhere else. You liked what you heard, so you got excited about that. That's the engagement part. Then you approached me. What is that? Oh, I lied. That was the awareness part. You got aware of me from a different podcast. Engagement. We started communicating. You asked me out on a date. Figuratively speaking. We met. Cool. I got excited after I met you. All right. Now, so we got a conversion there. Now we are in the core offering, which you wanted me to speak on your show, right? The same strategy and the same pathway works for every relationship, whatever your end goal might be. And who knows, after this, now we're trying to ascend. So, how can we increase our business in that four possible ways? Do we want to do an ongoing podcast? Do we want to create a book together? What is the next thing that could possibly lead out of this? Behind every opportunity is a conversation. And that is kind of how this works. So everyone that says, what is the most key thing about sales? It's not the closing. No, it's not the tie downs. It's not the type of wording that you use. It is the relationship that you're building.
Yeah, I think that's the base. I see while talking, it's not only relationship important only in sales. Everywhere the foundation to be success, it's all relationship, right? Even a family, even in everything, right?
Definitely. If you want to be successful, I've been reading this book called Business Principles of the Bible from Rabbi something. But what he says in the book is there's an imbalance if you excel in one aspect of your life only, which means if you're only excelling in your business, there's an imbalance. And that's why you usually be unhappy because there's an imbalance. Anything where there's an imbalance in life creates frustration, stress, anything like that. So if you are not putting also effort into your personal life, into your relationships, into your kids, into your nutrition, into your health, the same way as you're putting into your business life so that everything excels together, there's an imbalance. And it's like you're limping. You have one amazingly strong leg and one leg that's like Dr. House that he can't stand on. It doesn't work. You can't move forward at the same amount of speed if you don't. So
Okay, that's nice topic to, next time we should add relationship as one topic, one whole day. We can talk about it. And one thing I want to know, so now we talked about how to create awareness, how to start engaging, how to generate leads, gratification. Now the next comes is follow up.
all right. So statistically wise, 60% of all sales are actually made on the 12th follow up only. So what happens quite a bit, specifically with new sales agents and people that don't have the relationship mindset, is that they go an outreach, they do probably a cold call, and then there's nothing else. Then you will stay a cold call. You will stay that irritating person on the other side of the phone. But if you have relationship building in mind of going, hey, I want to build a relationship with this person in the long run. What does it need to do that? Well, you need to have at least 12 touch points afterwards, statistically wise. Otherwise, you leave 60% of your sales on the table. So how much money are you actually leaving on the table? If you just take $10,000 as your target per month, you leave 60% of that on the table that That's $6,000. 6 times 12, $36,000 that you're leaving on the table on a yearly basis.
Oh.
Times that, like times like over 5 years, that's kind of a big amount of money that you could probably do something with. So why risk it by not following up? So what are the different touch points that you can do? Well, the first thing is usually whatever your outreach method is. If it is a Facebook message, a LinkedIn message, if it is a comment or a post or something on someone else's page, the bottom line is still they need to be aware of you. Same journey that we're following. Now that they've gotten aware of you, what other touch points can you have? So you've connected. So, for example, you made a cold call to them. They didn't answer, or you left a message or something. You can follow up with an email. You then send them a LinkedIn message. You friend request them on Facebook. You send them a text message. All of these things in spaced out periods, so it doesn't look like you are a freaky stalker. But make sure that there are these different touch points that you can look at. When they have, for example, had a meeting with you, but it hasn't converted into an actual sale or a core offering that you want, what then? Again, what is your automated follow-up that you need? And yes, it can be automated. The bottom line is you need to have a touch point with the person. And that is all where content comes in. I know there's lots of different mindset about automation versus authentic and actually writing the emails yourself. My point is you need volumes also to make proper sales. All sales is type of a numbers game. So if you don't have the volume and you can't convert it, then yeah, it does make your life very, very difficult. And automation increases that likelihood of yours to actually make a sale. So what CRM are you using? If you use something like Prospect Rocket, Twilio, whatever the different CRMs are, Zoho, all of these CRM systems do have a email automation integration somehow. Email is still, since I think 1972, I think, or so 1979 or something, email is still the very best conversion method since it was invented. But it is about the content. It is about how you approach them. It is about what you say in the subject line. Content is king. It really, really is. So now you've got your call. You had a call. Your CRM goes. It sends its first email outbound. All right. It sends that. What does it say? How does it approach the person? What is the conversion rate? What is the open rate? Okay. Data is really, really important. You need to have data to identify where your issue and your follow-up is. If you don't have the data, I'd strongly, strongly suggest learn how to use the analytics that all of these platforms are actually giving you. Or, of course, come to me and I'll show you how. The next thing is then when you've sent your emails, when is your next follow-up email going? In that, also, what is the value that you are giving? All follow-ups should be 80% value, 20% sales. And the value isn't what you think is valuable, it is what your client will see as valuable. And in return, it needs to be something that doesn't cost you anything. So it is perceived value. What is that perceived value that you are giving to that other person that they want to get back in touch with you? All right, so now you've sent 2 emails. Is your next reminder on your follow up maybe a Facebook inbox message? Next follow up from there is a text message. Next follow up from there could be a LinkedIn message. Next follow up from there could be another phone call. You need to create something that is manageable and sustainable for you because you need to do this. There, yes, we get VAs. I fully understand that, but you still need to be able to understand how this works and what works for you to give them the exact, for lack of better word, scripting or the exact template that you need to them to communicate with and how to communicate with. So you kind of do need to go through this process yourself first to see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And that takes a little bit of trial and error. You do need to put some time, money, and effort into this in order to see the results that you want. It's not an overnight success. So the follow-up in itself is work on about a minimum of 12 touch points. We currently have 52 touch points that we put in place. And we've realized that some of our conversions only convert literally 12 months later. And that's okay. I'm still making the sale. And that I know for a fact that when I get on a sales call with that person, the sale is already made. Now it's just a question of, are we a good fit for one another? It's no longer a conversation of you need this. I don't have to convince them of anything. The sale is made beforehand. Now it's just literally, what am I having a good fit for each other? That's what the conversation is. And that's kind of how the follow up also helps. It helps warm up your lead in a way that this is no longer a question. This is just a how or a when. That's what you want to do in your follow up.
So how and when? It means how to go forward, when to get the order, something like that.
Yeah. It's no longer, should I do this? Yes, I should. I'm like, how do I do this? Well, I want to do their SEO service, or I want to do their consulting service. That's how I want to do it. When do I want to do it? I could do it next week, but it is no longer a should I do it. That's the key. That the sale has been made beforehand, not while you're on the sales call.
Okay, so before the follow up, the beginning of the closing is before, right? The beginning. You have
Uh,
to
no,
start.
remember when you have some kind of lead already and you've got their contact details, that's when the follow up starts. So
Okay.
it can be after an actual sales call. It could be after a specific just outreach message. It doesn't really matter when that actually starts. The key is the 12 touch points. And it can be after a sales call, as mentioned, or it can be as you outreach to someone. You still
Okay.
need to turn a cold lead into a warm lead.
Okay. Then warm to hot, right? Am I right? My question is like follow up, how often we should do? Is there any specific time gap or depends?
Huh. It really, I can't tell you that because every audience is different. You know your demographic a lot better than I can ever do. So if it is something small like Christmas is coming and it is under $100, I would kind of follow up quite aggressively. If it is a longer period like a trip to Vegas in February, then I would tend to not follow up that aggressively. I will still do all my touch points, but not as aggressively. So it does depend on the price point. It does depend on the target audience. It does depend on the ticket item. It does depend on quite a little different things. That's why the entrepreneur or the sales agent, they need to go do this thing themselves to figure out what works for them.
Okay.
It's
Right.
sorry, it's also very much personality orientated. Because if you are not a very like a typical driver personality, you are more of an amiable, for example, that aggressive continuous persistence is usually not associated with your personality. So what would be a little bit more time in between, a little bit more of a softer approach? The bottom line is the strategy still stands and the stats still stands. 60% of sales are made with the 12 touch points, the 12 follow-up. How do you do it? That needs to come from you. Your personality, what is sustainable for you? What will work for you?
See, one thing is like we should know based on the the place where we are located. We decide based on the culture of the customer when to follow up. But one more question is like even the other side, the customer, he should not feel irritate when we follow up. So how to maintain that balance?
How do you irritate your friend? How do you maintain that balance?
Understood. So if we have a good relationship, he'll not feel that as a irritation. Am I right? That's what you mean?
Yeah. When you just started dating someone or you just start being interested in someone, do you send them 20 messages a day? No, you'll freak them out. But if you married and I don't hear of my husband at least 2 or 3 times a day or something, I'll be like, hey, what's up?
I
You know what I mean? Like that's it.
got it.
It's way
Mm,
different from a normal relationship. Always take whatever you're doing online to a normal human relationship and evaluate it that way. Remember, it's
mm.
like if we've never met in person, I don't know your family, I don't know anything. So if we meet somewhere and I walk up to you and I scratch your head, you're probably gonna freak out, right?
Yeah.
It's not normal human relationship. But if you and me have built a friendship over a period of time, and we joke with each other, and I come and I scratch your head, then it's probably going to be okay. Do you get what
That's
I'm
true.
saying? It
Yeah,
is,
100%.
where are you in your relationship, and what is um what is sustainable for you? Like, always take it back to a normal human relationship. It's not rocket science. You know these things already.
Yeah. I think the base is relationship.
Definitely, definitely. That's what I'm saying. So follow up this relationship. How you make yourselves this relationship. It just depends on how you do it. And that's kind of also the differentiating factor for when someone buys from you or not. It is, there's 10 salespeople in a room. That's usually the person that you like and trust and know that you'll purchase from. It's never the product. It's never ever the product. It is, majority of the time, it is the person. Who do I buy this from? Why? It's because the guy we had a relationship. And yes, that relationship can form in 10 minutes, it can form in an hour, it can form in a year, it can form in, how fast do you make friends? I don't know.
I got it.
That's it is your personality. It's very customized, it's very personalized. That's why any sales agent needs to go into a trial and testing period. You go test what works for you. And if you don't get the data out of it, uh, dude, then you're kind of just shooting yourself in the foot here.
Mm. Yes, true. So now I want to know how your sales journey has been started. Like, is it by choice or by accident it has happened? The sales journey.
Think anything is by accident. I really don't think them. You have to decide something some way. Everything starts with a decision. So no, it is, you didn't by accidentally just sit here. You didn't by accident just send me a message. You didn't accidentally do anything. There was a decision behind it. So no, to start a business or to become an expert in a field is a decision. It is, it's micro decisions that you make over a certain period of time. And then you figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. What is a good strategy, what isn't a good strategy. How do we pivot? Sometimes you might do something else. I mean, like Toyota vehicles.
Yeah.
So Mr. Toyota actually started out as a weaver. He tried to make his machine, he tried to develop a weaving machine to create better materials. And that flopped completely. But then he pivoted that same machine and repurposed that to create the Toyota worldwide global brand that is purchased so much over here. So again, that was a decision. It wasn't an accident. The purpose of it might have changed, but
Hmm.
it was still a decision that was made.
Okay. So how was the journey overall, the sales journey? Being a woman, is was there any challenges?
Of
If you
course,
can share. Yeah.
no, of course, there's always challenges. I mean, but that's life, and that is what you do. It again, it's a decision on how you choose to go about it. You can choose to be offended by something. You can choose to be, offense is a decision. It's taken. It's not given. So you can choose what, if you are in a certain situation, how you want to receive it. You can choose to put yourself even out there to be rejected, or not. The point is, it is still a decision. So yeah, that's always just, it's always a challenge. And you really really have to become friends with fear, because if you don't become friends with fear, you'll never step out and actually do it. And then you stay in your comfort zone. And yes, there is people that's going to be nasty to you. Yes, there are going to be people that just reject you. Yes, you might have a racial thing encountering. Yes, you might. This is life. Yes, it's not fair. It isn't fair. Um, but it's, life isn't fair. The point is still, how much do you want to do it? What is your why? Why do you do this? And that's kind of the reason. So yeah, there's challenges. Yes, I also throw pity parties for myself and cry and eat ice cream, and then I get up and I do it again.
Wow.
It's life. I'm not going to pretend that everything is just smooth sailing. It's damn hard work, and it does come with a lot of emotional crap, and then you're dealing with someone else's stuff as well. But again, what is your why? Why do you do this? If that's strong enough, you overcome these things.
I like the word have a friend with your fear.
You really have to be. Um, Change is the only thing that's really constant. And over this COVID period, we've all realized that. And everyone is scared. Duh. Like it's a normal human reaction. I lost each and every client within 30 days. I was damn scared. Yes, I was. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to build. I had to learn how much milk costs. That's like that's not something that I just wanted to step into. That's challenging. And it's a very, very humbling experience to go through that all over again, to rebuild yourself, to reestablish your identity, to reestablish your security, to reestablish everything that you built before and that was your safety net. So yeah, make friends with all that scary stuff. I'm not saying horror movies because that's just silly. Make friends with things that scare you going into a meeting. Friends that make friends with something that could cause some anxious feelings. Uh, that is also a sign of growth. When you do your first presentation, it does get easier. You might always have butterflies before it, but it does get easier. The first time you reach out to someone completely random, sending them an inbox message, thinking that you're a stalker or someone with hidden attentions or whatever, it does get easier. How else are you making sales? How else are you talking to people? Well, before COVID, but when I used to train my staff, I used to tell them, now we're going to walk in a mall. And anyone that I point out, you're going to start a conversation with. That taught them how to get over that fear of just talking.
Mm. Even, when I traveled the first time to abroad, the first
Mm.
visit to Paris, I was so afraid. But as you rightly said, unless until you don't start,
Yeah.
you can't move
No, it is.
forward.
The majority of the time is your breakthrough or your comfort zone or whatever you need usually only comes in when you're already chin high into something not so pleasant. That's usually when the breakthrough actually comes. That's when, don't know why it does, but that's usually when it clicks or whatever happens. But you have to get into the situations and into those circumstances to learn. And that's also how the follow up works. You need to be following up yourself to understand what works with your clientele and what doesn't.
Mm. And as one more point you pointed out is you have to accept that the world is like this. There will be problems, there will be challenges, right? You have to
Definitely.
accept. I think once you accept, almost 50% of your problem will be gone. I
It's definitely a step in the right direction. Let's put it that way. It is definitely a step in the right direction. But at least you have clarity, and at least usually some of the anxious or the fearful feelings does subside.
hmm. For the women audience, like women in sales, like what is that stops them to, to come into sales? What do you think? There are many less women are choosing sales as a career.
Ah, I don't always agree with that because if you look at the real estate market, majority of those people in sales are female.
Maybe the industries, the B2B sales, the industries, very less.
I don't know because when we were speaking offline, I told you about some of the Japanese markets. That's all in heavy industries, heavy machinery industries. Uh, yes, there's very few women in it. However, it does. The sales number speaks for themselves. Females sell a lot more than the males. So a lot of the Japanese companies are currently seeking out female salespeople because they're selling so much better. I just maybe think it's a fear thing again why women don't always just step in, or the perception of a boys' club, or a perception of sexism, or whatever the thing is that might be the blockage in their own mind. And that's one of the biggest reasons why we established the Superwoman Entrepreneurs Mastermind. And one of our mentors is a breakthrough specialist. She breaks through limiting beliefs. Suzanne Scarrow is her name. So please do go look her up. She is phenomenal. And join our community to meet her and to actually be part of what she does.
Mhm.
But she helps our community break through those limiting beliefs. Majority of the time is also a thing that they use, and I don't mean this with any disrespect, so please don't take it that way. But a lot of women use, no, but it's a boys' club, or I'm a woman, or I can't do this, or I don't have enough bandwidth to do this, or I have little kids, or whatever the thing is. And I'm not making this small. These things are really there, but it's also a limiting belief. The limiting belief could have come when you were a kid to say that you're not worthy of this, or there could be someone that spoke into your life that told you that you are not good enough to do this. And that's the stuff that Suzanne then deals with to break through those limiting beliefs in order to get to where you need to be. Because you can still have little kids, and you can still have a challenging marriage, for example, or you can still have um, other men excluding you from the boys' club. These things can still happen, but you no longer believe that you can't do this. You no longer have the mindset that that you're not good at it. That's the big difference. Then it becomes easier to handle, and then it becomes easier to overcome. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. Even I have 1 year old baby, but still I'm able to do. It's because I believe in myself, you know, that anything can be possible. If we have a mindset, we can have it all.
Exactly.
What do you think? Yeah.
No, definitely. I believe that every woman should be creating what she really wants. And that's why I created in my consultancy, I created the thing about entrepreneurs to break through their entrepreneurial jail that they create for themselves. And that is literally that thing about, usually entrepreneurs is an entrepreneur because they have a solution for something. They had a problem and now they're a solution, or they want to help other people. Majority, that's why entrepreneurs do what they do. They create solutions to the problems that they face, and they know if they face it, a whole bunch of other people face it as well. So um I forgot my train of thought. Have you ever? Um, so what we're talking about is when you create the solutions that you create that entrepreneurial jail. And what happens is when you have the solution that you've created, now you've got all these platforms to do it on. And usually it grows and it grows and it grows. And it gives you, well, now I can do my book, and now I can do this, but oh, now I need a marketing team. And oh, my family is have to do this. And I've got this birthday party, but oh, my cat just died. It becomes just so overwhelming. Everything just happens all at once. And then we become sales driven. Then it's like, no, but I need to make money. I need to make money. No, I need to make money. I need to make a sale. I need to grow. I need to grow. And then you become attached to your cell phone. You become attached to your
Mhm.
laptop. You become attached to everything else. And you never have enough time. And everything is overwhelming. You never have enough time, and you never have enough money. Your team is usually paid really well, but you don't have money. That's usually what happens in the beginning when entrepreneurs start out, right? And that's
Mm.
what I can assist them with, of how to break through this survival trap and this entrepreneurial jail that they've created for themselves, to be okay with what is happening, to create time for what is needed, and to create a system to where they are able to either work the same amount of hours or work less, but that the profit still increases. So if you guys go to www.daphnethompson.com, there's my ebook that I'd love for you to have a look. It's how I was able to 8x some of my clients' profits within 12 months, not revenue, profit.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
and this was also a company of an entrepreneur that got so much into operational debt and never had enough time, and had a massive team and never had enough money to do what they actually wanted to do. I strongly believe that every entrepreneur that takes the risk to do this needs to be rewarded for that risk that they took. You are the most important person in your company. So you need to be rewarded for that. If it wasn't for you, no one else would be there.
True. Yeah. Now, one question is like, since we are talking about women in sales, like we talked about relationship and follow up. Okay, do you see that women are good in relationship, good in follow up, women in sales?
If they want to be, yeah. Again, it goes back into to decision. It doesn't matter what type of personality you are. If you've made a decision and you've created a system that works for you, you'll be excellent at it. Remember, no one can do exactly what you do the way you do it. Yes, there's a whole bunch of women and a whole bunch of men and a whole bunch of other people that do exactly what you do, but no one has your experiences. No one has got your point of view, and no one can do it the way you do it.
Wow, profound. Yeah. There is a saying like each is unique in their own way.
No, exactly, but that's exactly what uniqueness is. So there's a lot of similar companies, and there's a lot of salespeople. There's a lot of similar markets. There's a lot of similarities everywhere. There is that's what it is. That's why there's a market and a demand. But again, the riches really are in the niches, and the niches is how you do it. It's your experience. How do you associate with a certain person? That's why the follow up is also so crucial that you, as sales agent, do it yourself first to understand what works, to understand how to go about this, and then only you can hand it off to someone else after you've gotten the proven recipe that works for you and your clientele.
Okay, so my question is like about you, like any daily habits that you follow and which you suggest us to follow.
Um, Daily habits is I really do believe in waking up early. I do believe in routine. I do believe in waking up, healthy eating. You need to prioritize sleep. I know that a lot of moms out there say, but that's not something I can do, and I get it. Uh, but I do believe in prioritizing sleep. I really do. That's when you regenerate. That is when you feed yourself again. I do believe in taking a day off once a week. That is when your creativity is being rejuvenated again, and you cannot continue with doing what you're constantly doing if you don't rest. Then there's no time for growth, then there's no time for learning, then there's no time for creativity. So I do strongly believe in really taking one day off. And what it means is taking one day off. It doesn't mean lying on the couch and vegging. If that is what you want to do, awesome. But it means doing things that has got nothing to do with your business or with your sales. Nothing. So if you are in any kind of selling uh, real estate, for example, don't listen to real estate podcasts. Don't watch Netflix's Selling Sunset, for example. Completely detach yourself from what is your business, what is your work. You do need that growth and that mentality and that just relaxation. That is how that's basically how your brain works to just create more creativity again. Um, and then a balance. It all sounds really cliche, but yeah, daily balance is good. When you get off work, shut your phone off. Don't look at it. Your client will survive if you only answer him tomorrow morning, or your client will survive if you answer him an hour later after dinner. They will. It's like what was it? I think it was Napoleon that
Mhm.
when a letter came to him, he usually only answered it 2 weeks, or he only opened it 2 weeks after he received it, because usually by then the problem has been subsided already.
Okay.
So that's my habit really. And of course, I love podcasts and I love reading. So you also need to have a personal development growth mindset. You need to be able to pick up books and read it. You need to be surrounding yourself with communities. Superwomen Entrepreneurs is one of the most phenomenal and amazing communities that you could be with. To surround yourself with people that you want to learn from, people that you want to be around. One of my mentors always just said, "Garp," he's like, get around the right people. And it is true. You are the the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. That is true. So, and that is mentally, that is emotionally, and that is financially. So just think quickly. Think about the 5 people that you spend the most time with. You are the average of all of them. And if you don't like what you see, get around the right people. Sometimes, for me personally, that was one of the most difficult things that I ever had to do is let go of certain relationships because the relationship, I can't say it was toxic. It was just not where I wanted to go. And I needed to let go of that for me to excel in the place where I want to go. I hope that makes sense. And these are very personal things for each person individually. This isn't a one fit size or fits all. It really is. Look at the 5 people that you spend the most amount of time with. Do you like
But
what you see?
one thing I liked is it's not physically people should be present, a five average. It's also mentally, like the way you watch, that
Yeah,
also matters. That's what you meant, right?
it is. It is. But that is more to do with your personal growth. What I'm specifically focusing on is um, if the 5 friends or the 5 family members that you spend the most time with, how much money is in their bank account? Do you want to have that money in your bank account? If it's yes, then keep going. If it's no, then rethink the relationships or the amount of time that you spend there. Listen to what they speak. People tell you exactly what's going on in their life if you just listen. What is the amount of negativity that comes out of their mouth, or what is the amount of positivity that comes out of your mouth? Listen to that. Is that what you want to be? Will that get you to the figure that you have in mind of what you want to receive? If it does, go on. If it doesn't, then don't.
Wow.
Are they emotionally stable? Do you want to be around that? If they are, then yeah, go for it. If not, then rethink the relationship. This is it, it really is. Think about the group that you are in. If that is what you want, then go for it. If it's not, upgrade your group. And you only do that by getting around other people like the Superwoman Entrepreneurs Global Mastermind.
Wow.
That's how you do it.
That's a great message. Yeah. So, whom you have, if you want to continue the same way, you go for it. Otherwise, you have to upgrade it.
Yeah. I think it's with any appliance too. There's new upgrades all the time. Do you want the old version or do you want the new one?
Great example. Yeah, that's true.
It is. It's everything is really very simple if you just break it down. It doesn't have to be complicated. And I think what a lot of women really do is they get so stuck in their mindset of overanalyzing and overthinking that it really is paralysis by analysis. Put it to the side and just do. You will never get anywhere by just thinking. You kind of need to put action to word. That's why I said it earlier. You usually only get your breakthrough. You usually only get to the place where that shift or that pivot happens when you're already chin deep into whatever it is that you're in.
True. Very true. See, unless until you don't take actions, how you know whether it is working out for you or not?
Exactly. Exactly.
So, the end of the show is what is one thing which is secret of your success?
Um, I am religious, so I truly give all my talents back to God. Um,
Wow.
that is true. Um, it does, like I said, faith without any action means nothing. So if you don't physically take action of what you believe in, you can't put the super onto my natural.
Okay. So, any podcast, any book do you want to suggest?
Well, yeah, of course. I would love for each and every woman out there to please join our community, Superwoman Entrepreneurs Global Mastermind. It is a community of global women all across the world. They are UK, Canada, Australia, Japan, States, South African. Please join our community, superwomanentrepreneurs.com. It is a 6 months mastermind where you get access to all of the online training that all the women are getting, as well as weekly coaching sessions and weekly masterminds where you have the opportunity to bring your problems that you have in your business to the table. And we are all there to help you solve it. This is what I really want each and every woman to be part of. And of course, if you need more personal assistance, www.daphnethompson.com. I would love to be part of your journey and assist you in consulting you in the best way to put systems and follow ups in place in order to reach your goals.
Other than website,
Sorry, and break
LinkedIn.
through that entrepreneurial jail. The links is www.superwomanentrepreneurs.com and
Okay,
www.daphnethompson.com.
great. So, other than website, any other way they can reach you out, or they get everything in the website?
I do get everything on the website, but you can also reach out to me at Instagram, which is Daphne Thompson 2901, Facebook, LinkedIn. Just Google me. I'm not a woman of mystery. You'll find me.
Okay. So we come to end of this show. Daphne, thanks a lot. Lot of insights on relationship, follow-ups, mindset.
Well, it was great to meet you, and thank you so much for the opportunity and the privilege to be here.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Bye.